Mutation. What is actually a mutation? Mutation means whenever there is a sudden change in the structure of DNA. Okay, and the change in the DNA, it could be occur either with the help, either genetic or with the help of some outsource or some chemical. Okay, so mutation is the change in our DNA base pair sequences due to the various environmental factors. Okay, so environmental factors like the UV light are there, or sometimes there may be a mistake during the DNA replication. That is also a reason for the mutation. So any change in the sequence or in the DNA base pair sequences, that is the mutation. Okay, because we know that the genome is the only thing, or the genes are the thing that can change, and they pass changes through the offspring, means they are passing through the parent to the offspring. So a mutation is a sudden change in a organism genetic code, okay, creating a different genetic form. Because suppose if this code is representing some gene, and if there is ADC, then for example, okay, then it will code for another gene. Um, there is a change in the sequence of that gene. Okay, so there is a sudden change in an organism genetic code, thus creating a different genetic form. So mutation can happen abruptly, and they are due to the mixing of the existing gene. Okay, they are not due to the mixing of the existing. It means it's not like that. Suppose A, B, C genes are there and A, D, C genes are there. So there is a mixing of such gene. There is not such case. Always some changes either by some environmental factor or with the some mistakes are there during the DNA replication. So due to these, the sudden change in the genetic code which leads to the mutation. Okay, so the process of creating the mutation is called as mutagenesis. Okay, mutagenesis. And genetic change can affect the number of the chromosomes as well as the chromosome structure and the individual genes. So mutagenesis is known as um, the process, and the changes in the individual gene is called as the gene mutation. Whatever the changes occurring in the individual gene, that is known as the gene mutation. Now let's see what are the general characteristic of the mutation. So the general characteristic of the mutation is that generally the mutation are the recessive mutation, but the dominant mutations, they also occur. And mutations are generally harmful. They have the harmful effect to the organisms, and they are random, means the sudden change can occur in the gene, which can occur at any time and in any cell of an organisms. And the mutations are the recurrent mutation, means the same mutation may occur again and again. Now, what is the role of the mutation? See, mutation is what? It is the ultimate source of the genetic variation. Because if mutation is there, then the variation is there. Thus, it provides the raw material for the evolution. Okay, and it leads to the formations of the allele, thus the different forms of the gene, we can say. Okay, and without the mutation, the gene would exist in one form, thus limiting the genetic diversity. Because if mutation is not there, there is no variation, so the gene will exist only in the one form, which is not actually our case. So due to the mutation, the variations are there, the different alleles of a genes are there, and the diversity are there. And also the mutation, they enables the organisms to evolve, okay, as well as to adapt the environmental change. So these are the different roles of mutation. Now, what are the molecular basis of the gene mutation? See, mutation can occur spontaneously, means it can occur at a sudden, or sometimes it is induced by some mutagens. Mutagens are some chemicals which causes the mutation. So, they can occur either naturally or sometimes they can be induced with the help of the mutagen. So, the mutagen is what? It increases the frequency of the mutation. we can say. Okay. And the natural mutation or the spontaneous mutations, it accounts for the background of the um, rate of the mutations and thus contribute to the genetic diversity. Okay. So the spontaneous mutation, they can result from the replication process because it is occurring naturally. So during the DNA replication, there are chances that some mistake could be there. So there is a mismatch pairing. So that is the cause, also a cause of the mutation. Okay. Sometimes the spontaneous lesions are there, and also the transposition of the transposable element during the normal cell growth. So that are generally the cause for the natural mutation or the spontaneous mutation. So generally they occur due to the error which occur during the cell growth. Okay. So mutations, they can cause the permanent changes in the DNA sequences. Okay, and the mutation, it can be caused by the error in the DNA replications. They can also be caused by the exposure to the radiation which involves like the UV radiations are there. Okay, some ionizing radiations are there, some harmful rays. So they can also cause the mutation, and also some chemicals are also there which causes the mutations. Okay. So mutation, they can directly change the DNA structure. Okay. So if the mutation is occurring either spontaneously or with the help, or it is induced by the chemical,